Today in crypto, I want to share some tips with you that I hope can help you prepare for and to actually gain maximum returns from the coming bull market. We could literally be at the very start of this insane bull market, which could last for another 18 months or so. Some coins are already back to all-time highs. Token sales are selling out in minutes, something we haven't seen in years. The next 12 to 18 months, I think it's going to absolutely dwarf the previous bull market, and many investors will make life-changing returns, but you have got to be ready for it. If you are unprepared, then you are going to miss out big time. My name is Lark, and this is where you subscribe for all of the hottest and all of the latest happening out here in the wild land of crypto. Also, before we begin, just a reminder that paying members of Wealth Mastery will have received this week's issue to their inbox. And this is just one crazy value-packed issue. Wow. We look at the upcoming DeFi cryptocurrencies that you as an investor should be having your eye on, especially looking at some of the lower cap stuff. Forrest dives into decentralized finance on Polkadot. Now, Polkadot and their DeFi ecosystem, I think that's going to be surprising a lot of people. And there's a lot of really quality projects being built over there. Jesse has a super solid research report on LCX, definitely a gem to be keeping an eye on. DeFi Dad shares where you can get the best yield farming rates right now, and some of these rates are just absolutely insane. So definitely some gains to be made there for the risk adventurous investor. And Rect Capital has some incredibly important analysis on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let me and my team save your time and help filter out the noise for you to keep you ahead of the curve investing. There's a link down below where you can learn more. Okay, so today I just want to share some practical tips which I hope can help prepare you for the coming bull market. And you might be thinking, yo bro, I got this, man. Just buy everything and watch the number go up, brah. Easy. Psh. Yeah, okay, well, that might work. But let's try and increase your chances of getting rich on purpose and not by mistake. Now, the first tip that I have for you is to have a frickin' plan, man. I know it might sound silly, but I guarantee that many investors, including potentially you watching right now, don't actually have a plan. Well, it is time to change that situation. Now, you probably actually want to write this stuff down. It makes it a lot more powerful if you do that. So what are your sales targets for any particular cryptocurrency that you buy? What is your plan for cashing out? What will you do with your assets while waiting to cash out? Are you staking them? Can you stake them? Do you know the answer to that question? Are you lending those cryptocurrencies out? Are there any circumstances which would make you sell that cryptocurrency before it reaches your sales target? Maybe something like the company continuing to miss tech delivery deadlines. That might make you want to sell your cryptocurrencies. Look, everyone's plan is different, but having a plan, it will make it far more likely that you will keep yourself on the right path in your investing journey. And much more important than, of course, just when to sell your cryptocurrency is what comes next. Did you know that most people who win the lottery, they spend it all like in the first year and then they're just broke again? And also the suicide rates among lottery winners, very high. I say this because you can make life-changing money very quickly in cryptocurrency. But that's a rather neutral term because life changes, they're not always good. Yeah, it was life-changing money, but can also be for the worst if you don't prepare for it. So you need to prepare yourself for potentially making it big. Now, some things you probably want to avoid: buying Lamborghinis. You don't need a Lamborghini, man. Buying the whole glove, Dom Perignon for everyone. No. Private jets, you don't need that stuff, man. Now, some things that you will want to do: pay off your debt, reinvest those gains back into stocks or into real estate, put cash into high interest accounts like BlockFi, grab yourself some gold, buy a nice house, especially if you are currently renting, invest in a business, maybe something you've always wanted to start but never had the money to. Well, now you might have that money to do that. This way, you ensure that you're creating actual lasting financial independence. You're actually creating the life of your dreams for certain and for the rest of your life. It's very important to take these steps. And if you really do make insane money, then please consider giving something back to charity. And as a special bonus, if you do give money back to charity, you get tax deductions on top of that. So make sure to get your receipt if you do. The next tip, take profits. Okay, let me just put on the broken record here. Take profits, take profits, take profits, take profits. Okay, but seriously, turn those unrealized paper gains into real money, please. Future you is going to thank you big time. Such a common mistake is, of course, thinking that you need to sell your entire position when you cash out, right? This is not true. A great method is to actually ladder out of a position. So, for example, you could buy Ethereum at $500, let's say as an example. When it hits $1,000, you sell half of it. Now you've taken back your capital, so this is a risk-free moon bag of Ethereum now sitting there, just free Ethereum. It's a very nice feeling. Or maybe you sell 10% of your position every time your crypto goes up by 100%. But you do keep a little, just as that moon bag, so you've taken your profits, you got your money back, now you have your moon bag fully exiting a position too early. That can mean that you can miss out on a lot of gains. And look, if you don't want to ladder out of your position, you want to just go all in for the big win. Cool, man. You do you. Go for it. Go for it. But, understand that almost no one will exactly time the top of the market. Now, if you think you're that 0.1% that do, cool, man. But if you're sitting around waiting for the parabolic blow-off top, then you do have to be prepared mentally to pull the trigger when that time comes. Most people don't. That's why they miss the tops, because greed takes over. Greed like you may have never experienced before. You're going to keep getting richer. Why would you sell anything now? And you're paralyzed, and you don't push the sell button, and down goes the market. Don't watch that life-changing wealth come and go. You've got to realize those gains. This is why laddering out can make a lot of sense. You're locking in profits as the market goes up, and you're keeping that moon bag to sell. It takes a lot of the pressure off. The next tip, prepare your mind. One of the hardest things about the bull market will be fighting your greed and fighting your fear. They're very powerful emotions. Emotions are some of the toughest things for an investor to manage, and in most cases, you are your own worst enemy. Oh, sure, the whales and all that stuff, but you're probably going to mess yourself up way more than any of those guys. And beyond that, realize, of course, that there's a daily war on for your mind and for your money. You have got to be careful. It's a minefield out there. Fraudulent companies will launch and they will exit scam with investor money. This is going to happen. It's a simple fact. Ponzi's right now, they're popping up faster than at any point since the previous bull run. It's kind of impressive, but it's at the same time, please. These Ponzi's, they prey on your greed and often on your lack of understanding of how this technology actually works. Please be careful of these scams. And of course, be aware of pump and dumps. I am already seeing some bigger accounts doing this. So what they do, they go out, they buy up big bags of some super low market cap coin, and then they pump it up and then dump it on you, probably. Please be careful. Keep your brain switched into the on position at all times, and take a lot of what you hear, particularly on social media, with a big heaping grain of salt. Okay, the next tip for you is don't overextend yourself. Keep your portfolio tight. You do not need to have 50 cryptocurrencies. No, you do not. 10 to 15 should be more than enough. Yes, of course, you can add in new cryptos from time to time. Yes, of course, you can rebalance. Yes, of course, you can cut some and add others. But if you find yourself chasing every single new coin on the market, you are going to be on a one-way trip to wrecked city. And that's not a place you want to go. Nobody wants to go there, man. It's a bad place. They don't even have any good bars. Many cryptocurrencies go through hype cycles. And if you're FOMOing into every new shiny toy because some cartoon character on Twitter said it's a really good buy at the all-time high, then you are destined for failure. Please be careful. A much more powerful idea in an uptrending market add into existing positions. Do that dollar cost averaging, baby. For example, I'm continually adding to my Ethereum and to my Bitcoin positions every single week by a little bit more Bitcoin, a little bit more Ethereum. Other cryptocurrencies like Kyber and synthetics, I also add to those too, but a little more rarely. But I do keep my eyes peeled for big dips on existing positions to add into those because I already like them, I already know about them, and I want to get more of them. Now this can be a great time too to really add to just one of your favorites when you do see these dip positions instead of kind of rushing into the new hot thing. That being said, you can keep an open mind. Stay on the lookout for rising stars. You don't want to miss these opportunities, but you don't want to overdo it. So you do need to be willing to take a little bit of risk in your portfolio to get those really big rewards. They do await the brave, but also crushing losses as well. Lower cap coins, they will provide those bigger returns for you. Some of the newer listings, they can make massive returns for investors. But just because it is new does not mean that it's good or that it's bad. It's just new. Now, one that I've actually added into my portfolio recently is BZRX. Now, I think that this could be a big DeFi player on par with other major DeFi platforms like Compound, Synthetics, and Aave, or not. Or not. It could do really bad. You don't necessarily know the future, which is why it is only around 2% of my portfolio, which leads me on to my final tip for bull market preparation. Just because you might be willing to add a little more risk into your portfolio does not mean that you need to become a frickin' degenerate gambler and put 100% of your money on some random cryptocurrency. Always practice good risk management. One significant capital loss like that, putting 100% on some random crypto, that can take a long time to recover from. There is never a reason to behave like that. Now, some very simple ways to manage your risk, of course, limiting position sizes, especially on those more speculative investments. Smaller market cap cryptocurrencies, they're high risk and yes, they are high reward. Thus, you may consider only putting 2 or 3% of your portfolio into it. Now this way, if it crashes super hard, well, you only lost a few percentage points of your entire portfolio, and that's a loss that most of us can probably stomach. If it pulls a 10x, you still make some fantastic gains, so it's great either way. Also understand that sometimes you're going to mess up. It happens to everybody. You're going to buy some total garbage you thought was really good, and then you learn it's a dumpster fire. You need to learn to cut your losers. You're not married to this. It is an investment. Act like it's an investment. Act like an investor and be responsible for your capital. That includes cutting losers and, of course, taking profits on the other end. And finally, understand that the bull market will eventually come to an end. And I know that may not be what you want to be thinking about just as we're sitting here starting the bull market, but that's the reality. Bull markets come to an end. Might take a while. We might see the cycle play out, or it might take longer than the cycle we are preparing for, but it is an eventuality that will come. So when that does come, be ready to rebalance your portfolio, exit positions, move back into cash, move back into gold, bank those profits into Bitcoin. You don't have to perfectly time the top or the bottom of a market cycle. There's so much money to be made in between, but you do need to make arrangements in advance on how you will adjust your portfolio before the bear comes raging back, because it will. It always does. Anyway, those are just my 2 Satoshis. Do you have any tips about how new investors can prepare themselves for the coming bull market? Or if you are a new investor, do you have any questions about how you might be preparing for the coming bull market? Would love to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching today's video. As always, you are freaking awesome. So thank you so much for coming here to listen to this dude talk about cryptocurrencies on the internet, man. It's the internet. The internet. I love this place. Anyway, long live the blockchain, and peace out till next time.